In 1880, the unmarried sisters Catherine and Margaret Flannagan managed a boarding house at 5 Skirving Street in Liverpool. The household consisted of the two sisters, Catherine's son John Flannagan, and two families renting rooms, one led by hod carrier Thomas Higgins, accompanied by his daughter Mary, and the other by Patrick Jennings, along with his daughter Margaret. Unexpectedly, John Flannagan, aged 22 and previously in good health, passed away in December 1880. His demise didn't attract much attention. Catherine received £71 from the burial society he had been a part of, and he was laid to rest shortly thereafter. By 1882, a romantic relationship blossomed between Margaret Flannagan and Thomas Higgins, culminating in their marriage that October. Tragically, Thomas's daughter Mary, only 8 years old, fell ill and died a few months after the wedding. Once again, the burial society's funds were claimed upon the death, this time by Margaret Higgins. In January 1883, Margaret Jennings, 19 years old, also passed away. Catherine was the one who received the burial payout this time. As rumors circulated in the neighborhood regarding the unusually high number of deaths within the house, Catherine, Margaret, and Higgins decided to relocate their household first to 105 Latimer Street and subsequently to 27 Ascot Street. In September 1883, Higgins, then 45 years old, became another resident to fall mysteriously and seriously ill. His severe stomach pains prompted the involvement of Dr. Whitford. He diagnosed Higgins's illness as dysentery possibly brought on by consumption of inexpensive whiskey, and he prescribed opium and castor oil as treatment. Unfortunately, Higgins succumbed after battling the illness for 2 days. A few days later, the same doctor was summoned again, this time to provide a death certificate, in which he attributed the cause of death to dysentery. While Dr. Whitford didn't question Higgins's apparent demise due to dysentery, his brother Patrick was taken aback by the sudden and unexpected nature of Thomas's surrender to illness, considering his prior robust health. Patrick's astonishment grew when he discovered that Thomas had been insured with 5 distinct burial societies, which resulted in a substantial profit of approximately £100 for his widow. Motivated by suspicion, Patrick decided to escalate the matter to the authorities. This led to the issuance of an order for a post-mortem examination of Higgins's body. Strikingly, the coroner arrived at the house to conduct the examination right in the midst of Higgins's wake, surprising the mourners. Upon learning that a comprehensive autopsy was scheduled, Catherine hastily fled the residence, evoking more suspicion. Upon completion of the thorough autopsy on Higgins's remains, signs of arsenic poisoning emerged. His organs displayed traces of arsenic, indicating a gradual poisoning process spanning several days. Expert toxicologist Dr. Campbell Brown scrutinized evidence from the household, including a vial containing an enigmatic white substance and a purse worn by Margaret, leading to the confirmation of arsenic presence, in the form of dust inside Margaret's purse and an arsenic solution, with unusual additives, within the vial. Subsequently, Margaret was swiftly arrested, while Catherine, after evading police by changing locations between different boarding houses for almost a week, was apprehended in Wavertree. On October 16, 1883, both sisters faced formal charges of the murder of Thomas Higgins. As the method of Higgins's demise was linked to arsenic, authorities issued orders for the exhumation of deceased members of the household to gather further evidence. Upon examination, the bodies of John Flannagan, Mary Higgins, and Margaret Jennings displayed minimal decomposition, a characteristic consistent with arsenic poisoning. Traces of arsenic were identified in the remains of all 3 individuals. Initially, investigators presumed that the arsenic employed in the poisoning might have originated from rat poison. However, this theory was debunked when common additives typically found in rat poison failed to appear in the autopsy results. This prompted them to revise their hypothesis. It seemed improbable that the unschooled sisters could have accessed arsenic through the conventional avenue of visiting a chemist, more suited for doctors than unmarried women. Eventually, it came to light that prevalent flypaper of the era contained arsenic. through the process of soaking the flypaper in water, a solution that closely resembled, complete with the same additives, the one found in a bottle at the Higgins residence could be obtained. Upon her apprehension, Catherine asserted to her legal representative that the homicides were not singular events. She furnished a roster of either 6 or 7 additional deaths, which she attributed to a pattern of murders associated with burial society deception. In addition, she provided a catalogue of 5 women who were allegedly either responsible for these acts of murder or had facilitated insurance for those involved. During the 1884 trial, the prosecution linked Catherine and Margaret not only to the demise of Higgins, for which they were formally accused, but also to the 3 other fatalities within their household. Catherine's proposal to collaborate with the prosecution by offering evidence against fellow conspirators in exchange for leniency was dismissed. Following their conviction, the sisters were deemed guilty and received the death penalty, scheduled to be executed by hanging. On March 3, 1884, at Kirkdale Prison, a Roman Catholic priest provided spiritual support to the sisters as they faced their sentences. The executions were observed by an estimated crowd of 1,000 spectators.